Most people don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to ruin my financial future today. And yet, day by day, swipe by swipe, subscription by forgotten subscription, that's exactly what happens. Not because they're stupid, not because they're reckless, but because they're not paying attention. The truth is, your spending isn't just a list of transactions, it's a mirror. It reflects what you value, what you fear, what you believe about yourself and the world. And when you spend without intention, you live without direction. That's how people end up working jobs they hate, to buy things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. Intentional spending is about waking up. It's about grabbing the steering wheel of your financial life and saying, I decide where this money goes. Not your impulses, not advertisers, not social media, not FOMO. You. And here's the brutal reality. Almost nobody is doing this. Most people have no idea where their money is going. Ask the average person to tell you what they spent last month, and they'll shrug. Ask them how much their lifestyle costs, and they'll guess. Ask them what brings them the most financial stress, and they'll say, everything. That's not strategy. That's survival mode. And survival mode is not how you build wealth. It's how you stay stuck. The first step to intentional spending is radical clarity. Not vague ideas, not ballpark numbers. Clarity. That means tracking every expense. Not forever, but long enough to confront the truth. Where is your money actually going? What are your real monthly expenses? Not just rent and bills, but food, fun, habits, vices. What's leaking? What's excessive? What's out of alignment? Because alignment is the point. When your spending matches your values, everything gets easier. You stop feeling guilty. You stop second guessing. You stop buying out of boredom or status or panic. You start directing your money like a laser toward things that actually matter. And no, that doesn't mean living like a monk. It means spending better, smarter, with purpose. Let's break down what this looks like. You say you value health, but you're dropping hundreds on takeout and skipping the gym you're paying for. You say you want financial freedom, but you're financing the latest phone and scrolling Amazon at midnight. You say family is everything, but you haven't planned for your kids' future or taken that trip you always talk about. That gap between what we say we care about and what our bank statements reveal, that's where financial pain lives. That's where regret festers. Intentional spending bridges that gap. It forces you to prioritize, to say, this matters, that doesn't. And that's hard, because we live in a world that tells you everything is urgent, everything is essential, everything is worth it for just $19.99 a month. You have to push back. You have to draw a line. You have to become unreasonably committed to spending money only on what serves your life, not what distracts you from it. That's the real power of budgeting. Not control, but clarity. A budget isn't a prison. It's a strategy. A budget doesn't say, you can't have this. It says, here's how you can afford what truly matters. Whether that's debt freedom, early retirement, a home for your family, or just peace of mind. The plan starts by telling your money where to go before someone else does. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about emotional spending, because this is where things get real. People don't just spend because they're hungry or cold. They spend because they're anxious, tired, bored, lonely, insecure. Retail therapy is real. That dopamine hit from buying something new, it numbs the stress for a few minutes. Then the guilt sets in. The clutter piles up. The credit card balance rises. And the original problem, the emotion you were avoiding, is still there. That's not a money issue. That's a mindset issue. You have to build emotional awareness into your spending habits. Before you buy something, pause. Ask yourself, do I actually need this? Am I buying this to solve a real problem or just to feel better temporarily? That 1 second of self-awareness can save you hundreds, thousands, years of regret. Now, let's flip the script. Let's talk about joy spending. Because yes, intentional spending includes fun. The goal isn't to become a financial monk. It's to become a financial master. And masters know how to enjoy money without letting it control them. So build fun into your budget. Create a joy fund. Buy the concert ticket. Take the trip. Get the nice coffee. Just make sure it's a choice, not a compulsion. Make sure it's part of the plan, not an escape from the lack of one. And as your income grows, keep your awareness sharp. Because lifestyle creep is sneaky. You get a raise, and suddenly everything feels affordable. But what you're really doing is moving the goalpost. Now your upgraded life eats up the raise, and you're back at square one. Same stress, fancier stuff. Intentional spending fights this. It says, let's enjoy the upgrade, but let's also invest the difference. Let's grow our freedom, not just our furniture. For couples, intentional spending is a relationship saver. Money fights are one of the top causes of divorce, not because people can't do math, but because they never got aligned. One partner is a spender, one's a saver. One wants to enjoy the moment, the other wants to secure the future. Neither is wrong. But if there's no shared strategy, resentment brews. Intentional spending brings it all to the surface. The dreams, the fears, the priorities. It forces the conversation. What are we building together? What does success look like? What's worth our money and what isn't? It's not about control. It's about partnership. Now let's talk about automation. Because the best way to spend intentionally is to remove decision fatigue. Pay yourself first. Automate your savings. Automate your investing. Automate your debt payments. Treat your goals like bills, non-negotiable. That way, the money that's left is guilt-free. You've already done the responsible thing. You've secured the future. Now you can enjoy the present, with confidence. And yes, this also applies to people with low income. Intentional spending isn't just for high earners. In fact, the lower your income, the more important this becomes. Every dollar matters more. Every mistake costs more. And the stakes are higher. But even with a modest income, you can build wealth if you spend with purpose. There are millionaires out there who never earned six figures. They just made every dollar count. Intentional spending also unlocks long-term vision. Once you know what matters and where your money is going, you can start mapping out the future, not just surviving the month. You can plan for 5 years ahead. 10. Retirement. Generational wealth. Freedom. Because you've built the muscle. You've built the mindset. You're no longer reacting, you're directing. And that's the real flex. Not the car, not the shoes, not the Instagram vacations. The real flex is financial peace. It's waking up without anxiety. It's knowing your money works for you. It's being able to say no, not because you're broke, but because you're focused. Because you have goals. Because you're building something bigger than impulse, trend, or ego. So if you've been drifting, now's the time to take the wheel. Look at your bank statements. Look at your goals. Look at your life. And ask yourself, are my dollars aligned with my values? Or am I just spending on autopilot? Turn off autopilot. Take control. Start spending with intention. And watch how every area of your life starts to shift. More clarity. More confidence. More progress. This is Compound State, helping you stop leaking money and start building wealth. One intentional decision at a time. Most people aren't broke because they don't earn enough. They're broke because they have no idea where their money is going. Unintentional spending is like a leak in your financial plumbing. It's not the big purchases that break you. It's death by 1,000 small cuts. The streaming services you forgot about. The food delivery 4 times a week. The gym membership you don't use. The mindless scrolling that turns into $200 worth of stuff you don't need. And at the end of the month, you're left wondering, where did it all go? That's not bad luck. That's a lack of clarity. Intentional spending starts with awareness. For 1 month, track every single dollar. Use an app. Use a spreadsheet. Use pen and paper if you have to. But stop guessing. Start measuring. When you see your spending in black and white, you take the first step toward control. You'll find out fast where your money leaks. And that knowledge is everything. The discomfort you feel, that's growth knocking at the door. Most people ignore it. But you're not most people. Once you're aware of your habits, it's time to go deeper. Ask yourself what you actually value. Not what you say you value. What you want your money to reflect. If you say you value health, but spend nothing on clean food or fitness, there's a gap. If you say you value freedom, but you're drowning in payments for things you don't even use, something's broken. Intentional spending forces you to close that gap. To bring your money in alignment with your priorities. It's not about cutting everything. It's about cutting the stuff that doesn't matter so you can spend more on what does. People think this kind of spending is restrictive, but it's the opposite. When you're intentional, you stop feeling guilty. You stop second-guessing. You don't beat yourself up for buying something because it was part of the plan. You budget for the fun. You prepare for the big goals. And you automate the essentials. That's the real hack. Automate what matters. Savings, investments, debt repayment. Take the decision out of your hands and make your money move without you. Automation removes emotion. And emotion is the #1 reason people sabotage their finances. Intentional spending also protects you from lifestyle creep. that quiet enemy that sneaks in the moment you start making more money. You upgrade everything without thinking. The car, the apartment, the weekend habits. Suddenly you're earning more, but saving nothing. That's not progress. That's financial quicksand. Intentional spending acts like a filter. It lets you upgrade your life on purpose, not just because your paycheck went up. And this isn't just about you. If you're in a relationship, intentional spending is essential. Most couples don't argue about math. They argue about meaning. Why did you spend that? Why didn't you tell me? Why are we always broke? Money becomes a battlefield. But when you build a plan together, when your spending decisions reflect shared goals, you shift from blame to strategy. You stop reacting and start collaborating. Intentional spending is also the foundation of wealth. People love to talk about income, how much they make, what they earn. But income means nothing if it all leaks out the other side. The truth is, you can't out-earn bad spending habits. You'll just have fancier problems. Wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and what you do with it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to track every penny forever. You just need to become conscious. Every time you spend, ask, does this move me closer to the life I want? Or is it just noise? Every dollar is a vote. And over time, those votes shape your future. So, stop letting your money wander off without supervision. Be the boss. Build a plan. Spend on purpose. Not just because you can, but because it actually matters to you. This is Compound State, where we don't just hustle harder, we spend smarter. Like, subscribe, and take back control of your money, one intentional choice at a time.